Well, hey everybody, welcome to episode 206 of the Extra Mile podcast for bar exam takers. This is your host, Jackson Mummy. So glad to have you with us. If this is your first time on the podcast, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. If you're a returning visitor, again, glad to have you back. We know that many of you are getting ready for your exams now in just a couple of weeks. If you're listening to this episode just as it releases, we're about 14 days until the next test. And obviously there's a lot going on. I know that you're busy. So we're going to keep today's episode relatively short again. I do have some different links and information I want to share with you, some things to just check out. But I do know that if you're taking the exam, there's a lot on your plate right now. So good luck to you if you're in that circumstance. Now, I want to invite you to watch today's message if you can. It's on video. You can go to celebrationbarreview.com/206, that's the episode number, to watch the entire video. If it's better for you to just listen, well, you're welcome to do that. You can find us on iTunes, you can find us on iHeartRadio or on Spotify, and we've got the full show notes and information there. We also have all of our past episodes on our website at celebrationbarreview.com. Just look for the podcast tab at the top of the page. Well, there's a couple of things going on. Obviously, the bar exam's a big one, sort of looming like the Death Star on the horizon, right? And I wanted to share with you in today's episode a brief excerpt from our live boot camp that we did a couple of months ago here in Celebration, where we talked about this product called photo reading. Now, I probably get more questions about photo reading than anything else related to the bar exam because it's such a revolutionary way to study. It's what we call a whole mind learning system. And recently we did a full 2-day live boot camp with one of the trainers from Learning Strategies, the people that created photo reading, trainer that we've had on episodes with us previously. Her name is Millicent St. Clair. And at the beginning of the boot camp, we did some introductory material about what photo reading is, how the brain works, and I thought that some of that information would be really useful to share with you today, so that's what we're going to do. Now, today's episode is actually an excerpt from a brand new webinar that we've got available for purchase. This is an introduction to photo reading. If you've wanted to know more about photo reading for the bar exam, how it works, why you should be using it, kind of give you a feeling for it without going all the way into it, well, this is a great opportunity to do that. And we're going to link to it in today's podcast. The webinar costs $95. It's got unlimited replays. It lasts for a little over an hour, and it's the video from our boot camp. Lots of great information. Millicent would be sharing some of that. I'll be sharing some of it as well. You'll hear the things that we told our students about why photo reading was so important and powerful as they studied for the bar. Now, if you've already purchased photo reading and you're trying to dig a little bit deeper into it, I would definitely encourage you to check out this webinar as well. It's a great opportunity to get into photo reading from the perspective of a great teacher in Millicent and really get some depth, and I think you'll find that interesting. And of course, if you're in our course or you're thinking about joining our course, I want to let you know that we do have a live boot camp already on the books for next November and December. It'll be November 30th and through December 2nd. It's actually a 2.5-day event coming up here in Celebration, Florida, right outside Orlando. This is a wonderful opportunity for live training. We're going to be focusing in the first half day on essay writing specifically. So that's an extra workshop. You can come just for that part or skip that part depending on your particular needs. And then we'll do our live 2-day photo reading boot camp on Saturday and Sunday. And the link will be in the show notes. It's celebrationbarreview.com/bootcamp. All the details there. We do have people already enrolling. It's a limited enrollment activity, of course, and you do need to be registered as a Celebration Bar Review student. So we encourage you to check that out as well. I also want to let you know, before we get into the episode today, that we have our famous, I think by now I can safely call it famous. There have been thousands of people that have gone through the webinar titled "Make the Next Bar Exam Your Last Bar Exam." It's the powerful, proven way to pass. This is a free 90-minute webinar that will show you step by step what you need to do in order to pass the bar exam. I'll be sharing with you case studies from right up through the February 2018 exams. I'll be talking to you about step by step the process that you need to follow, what successful bar takers do. We'll be talking about some of the myths of the bar exam, some things that you might think are true that in fact probably aren't. And it's a great opportunity for you to get a perspective as well as some encouragement about the bar. It's totally free, and it's going to be this Thursday. That would be July 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern. That would be 4 o'clock Pacific time. Right, so 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Now, as I said, it's a free webinar, but you do need to register, and you can do that by going to our website at celebrationbarreview.com/webinar and signing up there, or by scrolling down here on the video page, you'll see a button to enroll. If Thursday the 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern does not work on your schedule, we have another option for you. It's an on-demand version of the same information. And in this on-demand version, you'll get exactly the same detail, but instead of my doing a live Q&A at the end, you'll have the opportunity to send questions via email directly to me, and I'll respond. But with that on-demand version, you can schedule it for whatever time and location works best for you. So again, whether you take the on-demand version or you join us live for our session on Thursday the 12th, I hope you'll join us for this powerful webinar, How to Make the Next Bar Exam Your Last Bar Exam. All right, there's two final items I want to tell you about. One of the products that I recommended to our students this week is a product from Learning Strategies called the Paraliminal Reset audio programs. This is a series of 5 different audio sets that are designed to help change your mental and emotional state in 15 minutes to as little as 30 seconds. These are audio recordings that you listen to first with your eyes closed, then you'll go through them with your eyes open, then you'll go from a 15-minute session down to a 5-minute session, and then you'll literally see how to do that in under a minute. The 5 topics include subjects like success and focus, calm. It includes adventuresome and radiance. They're great ways to change your mental attitude. And we think that they make a big difference, particularly near the end of your study, when you don't have a lot of time for extra things, but a 15-minute or a 5-minute or even a 1-minute reset could make a huge difference. Now, this is a product that we've been working on for some time. We're very proud and pleased to announce it, and we'll put the link on our show notes so that you can check that out and order a set of these audios for yourself. It goes to your permanent library. You'll hear them in both a man's voice and a woman's voice, and there are also some bonus video trainings that we've included on how to use these. So I hope you'll check them out. I really like the resets. I think they could be a great way to use the paraliminal technology, which is simply one soundtrack in the left ear, a different soundtrack in the right ear. It's a way of getting past your conscious brain to your inner mind, your genius mind, and they're incredibly effective. So hope you'll check those out. All right. Last thing, I promise this is the last thing before we get to today's session. A while ago, we had a student who was successful in the bar exam come on. I interviewed him. His name was Ben Chase. And Ben was talking about using caffeine gum or caffeine-related products in the exam that he could take in with him to help kind of keep him sharp for 6 hours at a time. I talked about those, and I was contacted by a company called Viter Energy, V-I-T-E-R, Energy, and they sent me, if you're watching video, they sent me some samples of their products. They've got a mint that boosts energy and it freshens your breath. Pretty good deal. It's got a little bit of caffeine in it. It is sugar-free. They sent me a couple of flavors, a chocolate mint, which I loved, and a wintergreen flavor, which I liked, but, me and chocolate, and caffeine. And it's about the equivalent of a cup of coffee. I really like them a lot. You just take one in, pop it in your mouth, head into the exam room, and it's good for, giving you that little extra boost. I really like what they're doing. They ship these very quickly. So if you're watching this and you're interested in Viter Energy, we will link to their website. You can order and get them before you go to the bar exam. I think you'll really like them, and I appreciate that these folks sent me these products. I'm going to be using them, and I would encourage you, if you're a coffee drinker, to do that. If you're not a coffee or a tea drinker, I don't know that I would start with the caffeine product right now, but I think it's a great way to have just a little bit of a boost. So in case you're not a gum chewer and you'd rather just pop a little mint in your mouth before you walk in the room, I think it's a great thing to do. All right, Well, enough of all of that. Now I want to turn to this idea of photo reading for the bar exam. And as I say, back in June, we did a boot camp, and we invited Millicent St. Clair, the lead instructor for Learning Strategies, to be with us. She's been with us before. And Millicent had the opportunity to share with the group some of the background and thinking about photo reading, why it works, why the whole mind learning system works. And it was really, really powerful. And this is just a brief excerpt from the webinar that we've created on Introduction to Photo Reading. I think you're going to really like it. Whether you're a photo reader or you've been thinking about it or you've just heard about it and you want to know a bit more, this is a revolutionary way that literally can change your scores. We've seen people improve their scores by 10, 20, 30, as many as 70 points just by using this tool. And when you hear the interviews and see the interviews I do with many of our students, you will hear them talk about photo reading pretty consistently. It is a game changer for almost everyone that tries it. So I wanted you to get a little taste of that today. I think it's interesting information. I think you're going to love listening and watching Millicent. Again, if you'd like to watch the video, go to celebrationbarreview.com/206. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into a little bit of that boot camp experience with Millicent St. Clair.
I'm really glad that he's an out-of-the-box thinker, and you've got to be an out-of-the-box thinker as well. And obviously you are, because you've decided to take the plunge and play with this process. Photo reading isn't so much about reading as it's about learning and how to process information faster and better, using the power of your non-conscious mind. That's really what it is. Now, this is typically taught as a public seminar. And when we teach a public seminar, we have people from all walks of life that come. We have college students that come, and they're sometimes teenagers, and in their early 20s. We have adult learners and business professionals. We have very specific people that are going for advanced degrees like yourself. So in that course, we have to spend a lot of time working with all the different learning styles. We have to explain a lot of background information about the mind and the non-conscious mind and the left and right hemispheres and how your eyes work. You're about to get the crash course, okay? This is taught as a 2.5-day seminar, intensive weekend seminar, 18 hours blasting through all of the materials, and then as well as learning and applying it to your purpose and your materials. You're about to get the condensed version of that. Is that okay with you? Because you're already advanced learners. You're already super smart people. You're already high achievers, and we know that. So, here goes. Let me ask you, how many of you have heard it said we only use about 10% of the brain? You heard that? Okay, I heard that too. And when I heard that, I said, well, if I only use 10%, how do I gain access to the remaining 90? That's what I want to know. Did that make sense? It's like, yeah. So let's talk about that real quick, because that's the basis of everything we're going to be talking about. So here we go. We got 100% here. And we're going to carve out that 10%. So we got 10% here and 90%. So that 10% they're talking about is our conscious mind. So if this is the conscious, then this was the what? The subconscious, the non-conscious, and some people call it the unconscious. We'll just call it the inner mind. So just use non-conscious, subconscious, all interchangeable. The conscious mind is actually an information manager. He's just the manager, that's it. All of the deep processing and deeper learning takes place at a deeper level. Your non-conscious mind is the processor. Here we go. This is where all deep learning actually occurs. So we want to learn how to gain access to that, the deeper part of our mind. So you already have a non-conscious mind, so it's not something we're giving to you. You just need to learn how to get access to it in a way that they didn't teach you in school. In school, they teach us about subjects, about history and math and economics and law and what courses, and all that's fine and good. This is all about you and how your brain works. When you understand that and you understand how the mind works, and there's a distinction between brain and mind, then you can apply that to your learning material faster and better. So now we've got these two parts of the mind. Then we've got the brain. We're going to divide that in half. Left side of the brain. So what are some of the functions of the left side of the brain? Nope. That would be the right side. Creativity over here. What is some? Logic. Yes, logic. What else? Analytical. Mathematical. What else? It's all about words and writing. Yes. So it's analytical, it's logical, it's linear, it's black and white. It just wants the facts. Let me hear you say, just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Right side of the brain. What are the functions of the right side of the brain? You said creativity, yes? Color, arts, music, yes, imagination. What else? Intuition, yes. Intuition. Who knew that you can apply intuition to learning the kind of material and to test taking? And Jackson's going to talk about that a little later on. So we've got the conscious mind, the non-conscious. We got the left and the right hemispheres. Now, how many of you all know what the 3 R's are in school? The 3 R's? Reading, writing, and arithmetic, Kim. Yes, arithmetic. Those are left brain functions. Okay, so we're taught in school how to learn in a left brain mode using only a limited portion of what's available to us. They don't teach us how to access the right side, the creative side, as well as the non-conscious portion of the mind. So we're going to just expand on what they've been doing. What they've been doing is okay, but there's more to the story. So that's what really this is all about. How do we start to entering information into the non-conscious mind through what we call a non-dominant channel? So we got the dominant channel here, conscious mind. Then we have the non-dominant channel, the non-conscious mind. And when we're photo reading, we're entering information into the mind, the non-conscious, through that non-dominant channel. But this is really where it's all at. And this is really where your power is. So again, you already possess it. We're just going to learn how to activate it. So here goes. So photo reading was developed by my teacher and friend, Dr. Paul Sheely. It's been around since 1985. It's taught in 18 languages in 30 countries around the world. And I've been with the company since 2002. I found it. I said, oh my God, why didn't someone teach me this when I was 5, or 10? Are you kidding me? I said, I've got to learn how to teach this to others. Now, I wasn't a teacher, but I loved it. And I dove into it, and I played with it, and I applied it to all kinds of things. I got wonderful and outstanding results from my life. I started teaching it to my community and my family. I got trained and certified, and I've emerged as one of the top instructors for the company. So it's my pleasure to share it with other people. Now, it took a lot from me because, again, I wasn't a traditional educator. I wasn't into that, but I have emerged as one since because of my love. It's accelerated learning or accelerative learning methods. That's, again, how to use the different parts of the brain to learn faster and better. When you're reading, if you think about it, reading is just a conversation with the author. You're reading their writing, and they're actually speaking into your listening. I've read books. Who here has read a book? And you could actually hear the author talk, and you're like, wow, this is good. Anybody ever had that experience? Totally absorbed? It's a transmission. It's a dialogue is what it is. So even though this is highly technical material, and it's very dense, it's still a dialogue. Somebody's communicating, and it's a transmission. Be open to that dialogue. So we're going to be doing some reading, writing, speaking, because this is a conversation, and deep listening. All right, so we're going to transform that experience of reading. So you're not alone, by the way, if you're experiencing frustration with your reading. And we're going to talk about why and how to smooth that out for you, how to use your fingers, and how to get into the right state for learning. So first, let me invite you to simply close your eyes. Close your eyes right now. We like to start our experience by getting centered, getting into the right state for learning, okay? And I'd like for you to imagine yourself surrounded by all of the different books and journals and newspapers and trade publications. Close your eyes and go within for just a moment, yes. And just imagine yourself surrounded by all these different kinds of publications. And you have so much to read and only a fraction of the time to get it done. If you had to use your current reading skills for the rest of your life, what would that look like? What would that sound like? What would that feel like? How much can you really read with your present reading skills? You might want to create a symbol or a word or feeling that describes your experience. And whenever you're ready, you're welcome to open your eyes, feeling refreshed and relaxed, and ready to continue. So we're going to transform that old paradigm of reading to a new experience of yourself. Let's talk about your objectives. Let me ask you, how long would it take typically for you to read a book like this? Okay, years. How about a book like this? 200 pages. 3-4 days? Couple days? About a week? Okay. What if you could get this done in half the time with improved memory and comprehension? Would that be okay with you? What if you get this little book here done in 1/10 of the time? Would that be okay with you? Okay, so you're going to be able to at least double your reading speed by getting into the right state, setting a purpose, and using the techniques that we're going to show you. Now, of course, law is super heavy and it's super, super dense. We get that, okay? But you're still going to be able to get through this with improved memory and comprehension, and you're going to strengthen the connections in your neural network, believe it or not, using the power of your non-conscious mind. You just need to know how it works. That's it, that's all. Don't question it, just play with it. You don't think about how your car works. You just crank and go, true or true. We just want to crank and go. And so we're going to just take you on the fast track here, but you're definitely going to be able to double your reading, your normal reading speed with improved memory and comprehension. Okay? So the course purpose is to get your reading done in the time you have available at the comprehension level you need. So today your attitude is just to learn the 5 steps. You're going to be determined to do the doggone thing, and we're going to go for it. So in your playbook, on the very first page, if you'll turn to it, it says here the course objective is to advance. That's to increase your reading rate and comprehension so that you can enjoy fluent reading. And the objectives are right here under this picture of Paul Sheely in the orange block below. Advance, accelerate the expanded capabilities of your brain's powers because they are there. We just need to access them. And to integrate the steps of the photo reading whole mind system into your life so that it makes sense to you, so that it works for you in the way that you need it to. Now, here's the thing about this. Everybody's going to find their way into this in a way that makes sense for them. So how you apply this and how you get it, Dara, is different from how you're going to get it. Because we're all unique, aren't we? Your brain structure, your life experience, everybody's different. So we're going to learn the protocol, but you've got to find your way into this, and you will. So just hang out and have some fun with it. So now the first thing I want to talk to you about is changing the paradigm of learning. We're going to do some things like educational kinesiology or tapping. We're going to teach you some heart centering and heart focus, or how to get into the right state for learning, because again, frustration shuts the brain down. This is a collaborative learning environment. And Jackson has created just that, a collaborative online learning environment where everybody's supporting one another because we all have the same goal. We're going in the same direction.
Well, that's our episode for today. I hope that we've whetted your appetite a little bit about photo reading. If you'd like to know more, if you'd like to watch that entire webinar, it's available. We'll put a link here on our show notes for you to check that out and purchase it. And as I say, it's about an hour-long session and really just super. You can tell Millicent's a great teacher. I also want to just let you know that there are a couple of previous episodes in the podcast that we've done at about the 2-week mark before the bar exam. We'll link to those in the show notes as well. But episode 65, we talked about a great hero from the Bible, Gideon, and his relationship to the bar exam. Might surprise you. And then in episode 132, I talked about the idea of perspective right before the bar exam. Pretty useful message, I think. It's easy to lose perspective. And so we encourage you to check out episode 065 and 132. They're both good episodes if you're thinking about messages 2 weeks out before the bar exam. Well, I hope this has been helpful. Good luck to all of you who are in the final stages of your study. We'll be back again next Wednesday, about a week to go before the bar exam at that point, with some final thoughts for those of you heading into the July exam. And for those of you taking your exams in February 2019, we just want to remind you about our special webinar, Make the Next Bar Exam Your Last Bar Exam. It'll be this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you sign up for that. I don't think you're going to want to miss that information. Have a great week, everybody. Study hard, do well. We'll see you along the extra mile and on the pass list. Bye-bye for now.